Okay, come take a comfortable seat on your mat. Welcome yourself to this morning's practice. I hope everyone had an enjoyable Labor Day weekend. Refreshed, ready to start the work of the day on and off the yoga mat. Settle into breath and body. I'm opening each practice this month with a reading entitled Gratitude from Morgan Harper Nichols. It's really helped me focus where I want to do the work on the mat. She says, I hope you do not feel like you shouldn't be able to talk about how difficult it is to wait and trust in the process. Please do not let anyone make you feel like you are automatically ungrateful just because you are struggling to see where the light pours in. Yes, a daily practice of gratitude is incredibly valuable to your well-being, but it does not mean that you have to pretend you are immune to the strong emotions that come with waiting. Learning to trust in the process is about learning to trust that there is so much happening beneath the surface, beneath the layers of worries, doubts, and long lists of things you have not figured out. There's also endless, boundless grace that gives you room to feel what you need to feel, while also moving forward one step at a time. Let this be what you're grateful for, the opportunity to keep going, to keep trying, to keep waking up each morning knowing that even if you didn't have the best start, or even if the failures of yesterday still seem to haunt you, you are free to try again. You are free to trust and embrace the process of learning every lesson you need to learn that you know is only going to prepare you for whatever lies ahead. Let those words resonate within this movement practice and perhaps take into the rest of your day as well. Change here to downward facing dog. So take your time, stretch out into downward facing dog, pedal out your feet. Shift in the hips, let the head release, shake a little side to side. Yes and no. And then change to plank pose. Come forward, shoulders over the back of the wrist. Core a bit more strengthened. Squeeze the heels in close together. As you do that, squeeze the glutes. Lengthen your tailbone, tone the abdomen, and look more forward rather than down. Lower flat down to the yoga mat. Reach the hands behind you. Lift everything that you can up away from the mat in locust pose. Shift again to downward facing dog. Up and back. Look forward to your hands. Step to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Forward fold. Stand up, reach the arms to the sky. Palms together, center of the chest. Take a breath in. Grateful for this opportunity to try again. Inhale, lift the arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift. Now lunge. Keep the right foot forward. Step the left foot back into your lunge. Bring the hands to your waist, torso upright in a high lunge. Pause here for a moment. Really square off the hips. Find some strength in the back leg. Lift the arms up to the sky. And then hinge forward. Allow your belly down onto the thigh. Feel the pressure of the thigh up into the belly. Keep that and drop the hands all the way down. Can you get the palms nearly flat on each side of the foot? Really working the length of the limbs here. And step back to plank. Right foot slides back to the left. Lower flat down to the mat. Interlace your hands behind your back now and lift up. Lower it down, press to downward facing dog. Take in a couple of breaths. And then step to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Stand up, reach the arms to the sky. Palms together, center of the chest. Take a breath in and out. Okay, go again. Lift the arms high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Keep the left foot forward. Step the right foot back. Place the feet hip distance apart. Hands to the waist. Lift the torso. Your high lunge with hands to the waist, helping us to really see where those hips are squaring off. Get the back legs straight and secure to hold you. Then lift the arms. Stay there, breathe there. Hinge forward, lie the belly down onto the chest, onto the thigh, chest as well. And then try hands down. May or may not fit. Lots of different things to get in the way. Slide the left foot back into plank. Lower flat down. This time, superhero, hands out to the side and lift. I'm keeping bent elbows. Lift everything you can up, up, up. Lower it down, press back to downward facing dog. Okay, this time walk your hands backwards to your feet. We get to do our ragdoll pose. Separate the feet outer hip distance apart. Really hang forward. Hold on to the elbows. Sway a little bit from side to side. Be heavy here. And then slowly roll it up to standing. The shoulders move up and back a few times and forward and down. Okay, we start with chair pose at the back of the mat. Take the arms back up to the sky. Bend the knees, sit into the thighs. Chair, sit. Utkatasana. Add a twist. Left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Really fold down. And try to get into a pretty deep twist there. Back to the center, stand all the way up. We'll do the other side in a moment. First, step the right foot forward into the high lunge. And again, hinge forward like we've already done, belly onto the thigh. And add the twist again, palms together, And really scrunch in. Elbow to the outside of the thigh. Nice deep tone turn through the torso. Good. Untwist. Step backwards to downward facing dog. Walk the hands backwards to the feet. We stand up and do it on the other side. So arms to the sky. Bend the knees, sit into the thighs. Utkatasana. Then palms together, right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Take a few goes at it so that you get in a little deeper, a little stronger into the twist. Push the top hand into the bottom hand. Really point the left elbow up towards the sky. Untwist, stand up, arms to the sky, and step the left foot forward into the high lunge. Take a few steps until you have your full stride. If it didn't happen on the first step, no big deal. And then we change. Twist. Hinge forward first, and then add the twist. Sometimes, mostly, the poses come in the details. So that hinge forward is going to give you a little more length in the spine to start the twist. As you untwist, step backwards again to downward facing dog. And from here, right leg into the sky, three-legged dog. Pull the knee into the chest, hover forward like plank pose, and then step all the way through into the lunge. Good. Spin the back heel down, but still point the back toes more towards the front corners of the mat. Two options, down dog lunge with the hands leaded forward here. So you're much more front to back in the energetic field of the body and the work of the pose. Or interlace the hands behind your back and try no-handed lunge. Head down towards your right heel. You've slid your torso just to the inside of the thigh. But again, try not to let your butt hang out to the side, but instead pull more back so the energy is forward and back. And then release. Hands on either side of the front foot. Step back to plank. Do a push-up. Downward facing dog. And then lift the left leg up into the air, three-legged dog. Pull the knee into the chest, hover forward, and step through. This feels confusing. It's because I often teach it more wide to the side. So back toes turn in. So the legs are like warrior one facing the front rather than warrior two facing the side. A lot of times I do the side view, but this time it's front to back for the purpose of the sequence where we're trying to go. Hands again can go more forward and stay there. Or try the no-handed lunge with hands behind the back. Maybe second favorite finger clasped in front. A little harder. Move hands on either side of the front foot. Pick up the back heel. And slide back to plank. Do a push-up. Downward facing dog. Now look to your hands and step or jump to the front end of the mat. Half lift. Forward fold. Stand up, arms to the sky. Big reach. Palms together, center of the chest. Reset. Breathe here. Adjust the clothes. Get a drink of water, anything that you need. A couple of breaths. Okay, and then we're going to take a nice wide stance on the long length of your mat and turn the right toes out. Warrior two, bend the right knee for warrior two. So now we are opening everything up side to side, more lateral. Elbow down to the knee, top hand palm down overhead, side angle pose. Look down instead of to the side so that you can transition from side angle into half moon. Right hand goes down to the floor. Step the back foot in so you have room to then step up. Left arm, left leg high. Half moon pose, balance. Stand on your right leg, held by your right fingertips. And then come down into a low lunge, facing that short side of the mat. So then we've closed the hips back off, working more front to back again. And add in pyramid pose. Take a slightly shorter stance. Make both legs straight. As you do that, hands to the waist, lift the torso so that you have the room. And then keep the legs straight and try to fold over your front leg a bit more. Forehead, think towards your shin, maybe even towards the ankle, big reach. Keep the hands at the waist today, so you're having to work that balance and control through big toe, outer edge of the back foot. And then on an inhale, lift your torso all the way upright again. Just an easy bend in both knees. Shake out the legs to the center. And start again in a wide stance. Extend the arms. This time turn the left foot out. Start in that wide open side view. Bend the left knee, warrior two. That takes you into side angle, elbow to the knee. Top arm, palm down, big reach. Look down at your left foot. Consider how you're going to get into half moon. I have to shorten the stride for sure. Step the back foot in. And then leap and lift up, right arm, right leg to the sky. Half moon pose. Try to turn the torso. Externally rotate from the bottom hip to help open across hips and shoulders. Lower it down into a low lunge facing the short edge of your mat. Once reset in the legs, shorter stance, straighten the legs, pop the hands up to the hips, lift the torso. You can be all the way upright, but then slowly length, length, length through the spine. Take the head closer to the left leg. Try to shoot more for the ankle rather than the knee here as you're folding over. Strong lift on the kneecaps, tone in the quads to hold you. And then come back upright in the torso. Again, that little bend in the knees. Just shake it out. Stand in your center. Balancing one-legged sage pose here. Pull the right knee into the chest. Hold underneath the thigh. We're going with the level 1 start. Stretch your right leg straight. And pull the knee back into the chest and the foot down. Same thing, second side. Pull the left knee into the chest. Hold under the thigh. Get the leg as high as it'll go there with the sort of passive support. And then stretch the left leg as straight as it'll go. Rebend the knee and lower the leg. Same thing, you either repeat that same work a second time, or this time as you pull the right knee into the chest and lift the leg, take the hands to the bottom of the foot instead of the bottom of the thigh. And again, stretch the right leg straight. You can bend the elbows, fold them down, wherever your body is allowing. Pull it back in and down. Second side again, left knee into the chest. You can go with the under the thigh hold. It's a little more of that belly squishing down onto the thigh that we worked with the twist earlier to get the hands below the foot. That's where those things come in handy. And straighten the left leg as much as it goes. To or towards straight, I usually say. Pull it all the way back in. Instead of kicking the leg forward, we'll kick it back, hands to the waist. Bend the knees, sit into the thighs like chair pose, and then hinge a little bit forward. Warrior 3 with hands at the waist. Kick your right leg behind you. Think of a T shape in the body. Extend the arms backwards. Palms up to the sky. You could call this one elevated locust pose. Think of your belly down back bends, trying to lift and extend through the torso and the legs. Bring the right leg back in. Stand upright for a breath. Take it all in. Let's try out the second side. Bend the knees, sit into the thighs. A little more forward in the torso. Left toes back behind you and lift. So start and stay with the right knee bent a lot to keep the hips quite square, working the stability in the outer hip. And then for the extra challenge, it's more of a straight right leg without the rest of the body changing. Pull it all back in. Good chair sit to finish this out, and then stand tall. One more in this balance series. Kick your right heel towards your seat. Natarajasana is our dancer pose. Take the right hand, hold on to your right foot. Just like in Warrior 3, bend the standing knee a bit and hinge forward and lift your right leg, your heel, away from your seat. Release and switch to your second side. Arms high, kick your left heel. Hold on to the left foot. And hinge forward. Again, I like to go with a little bend in the standing leg to make it easier to open into low back and hamstrings. If that's of no concern to you, naturally have the flexibility, a little longer length in the hamstrings. Keep the right leg straight. And then come back 2 feet to the floor, shake it out. Walk to the top edge of the mat. Inhale, lift the arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift. Keep the right foot forward, step the left foot back into your low lunge. Twisted monkey here. So we bring the hands to the inside. Scoot your right foot out to the side. Lower the left knee down. You can even turn out the front foot, knee, hip. Little rotation. Balance on your left hand. Pull the left heel into your seat. Twist and look over your right shoulder so you can hold on to that back foot. Stay up on the left hand, or you can lower down to the left forearm. Left forearm means more quad stretch, a little less back bend. It's up to you. I usually stay up on the hand. And then as you walk back up to the hands, if you are down on the forearm, release the back foot. All right, so I want you to keep your hands to the inside of your foot. Lift the back knee off of the floor. From this low lunge, we're going into side plank, balancing on left hand, outer edge of the left foot. Swing the right foot back, stack the feet, and lift the right arm to the sky. And then just as soon as you got there, place the right hand back down, swing the right foot back to the front of the mat. So you're into the low lunge again. This time, full plank, swing the right leg back. Last month, we did so much working in full hip mobility and strength. So that's just checking in. How are you doing still? Lower it all the way down. Pull up for cobra. And sit back, child's pose. Keep the arms out long in front of you. Really stretch the lats here in child's pose. As you move through all fours, lift the hips up, swing the left foot forward, hands to the inside of the left foot so that you can do the twisted monkey pose on this side. Turn the left toe, knee, hip out, balance on the right hand. And you do want to start this on the hand, even if you're going further down. Pull the back heel in, turn and look over the top shoulder. And grab hold. So throughout this month, there's a core focus. It comes across in all of that balance, stability work that we did through the main portion of class. You'll see more traditional core exercise really soon. Okay, release the back foot. Walk up to the hands, lift the back knee. Okay, side plank. Swing that front leg all the way back. As you do so, tip to the side, lift the left arm up. All right, core and hips got to work together to get your left foot back up into the lunge. Hold strong and swing the foot backwards to plank. Lower flat down on the belly here. Enjoy cobra, big stretch through the abdomen. And again, sit back into child's pose. Give it a few breaths. Okay, here's where we switch into a more traditional core series. Lie down onto your back. I do need you to have the space to spread your arms out full width. Sometimes I switch and I have my hands the length of the mat so that I have room for this pose. So whichever way works for you, you do need that full wingspan and legs straight up to the sky. Firmly rotated pose. Bend the knees and hover the legs about 2 inches above the mat over on the right side. Try to keep the shoulders all the way out to the arms really anchored into the ground. Pull the knees back up and hover over towards the left side. And the key to this pose, feeling the challenge, is to keep knees in line with the hips. Don't let them hike up towards the shoulder. And then come back into the center. Super good work in the obliques. Legs can stay bent like that, or we're going for straight legs for more challenge. And you want to try to catch your foot into your hand or let it hover right above the hand. So there is that forward angle. Hover the legs right above the right hand. Hold it. And then up to the sky. And go to the second side. Hover the legs right above the left hand. Anchor through the shoulders all the way out through the wingspan and legs back up. We do it one more time over to the right side. Keep the legs as straight as you can if you're going straight legs, or fully bent if you're bending. And to the center. Jatara Parivartanasana, or firmly rotated pose. Go to the left. Although strong twist in the beginning, coming in handy here. Back to the center. Hug the knees into the chest. And then here, rock your way to boat pose. So you're going to come up to your seat, try to balance right on the sits bones. Extend the arms, extend the legs. Arms can hold the legs for more support. Legs can be bent or straight. Try to be as forward as possible on the sit bones and lift in the chest. Keep wide across the collarbone. Hold full boat pose. And then half boat, lower halfway down. A lot of folks call this one hollow back pose. All the way up, boat. Hollow back or half boat. One more time, all the way up. Halfway. And let yourself lie flat down. Reach the arms overhead. Get an arch and lift through the mid to low back, away from the mat here. Really good stretch. Again, pull the knees into the chest and let both knees fall all the way towards the right side. side crunches here. I'm going to reach my left hand as if I want to try to brush my left heel. Right hand behind the head. Make sure you're not pulling on your neck. And just crunch. Lift up 8 times. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch the legs. Switch the arms. Second side, do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back into the center. Again, knees into the chest. Nice strong hold. And then like butterfly, soles of the feet together. Extend the knees out. Reach the arms straight up towards the sky. As if you're trying to touch the ceiling, so you're not using a ton of momentum here. Just reach up 8 times. 8, it's slow. 7, and down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. One more thing on your back here. Legs straight up into the air. Sit on your hands. More challenge. Take the hands instead behind your head. Make sure you're not pulling on your neck. Whether you're sitting on your hands or hands behind you, you can lift head and shoulders off of the mat. And we've got leg raises. Lift and lower to make this most doable. If you're working with any diastasis recti for my mamas, you can go one leg at a time. The slower that you move here, the more intense this becomes. Work the entire top to bottom of the abdominal line, rectus abdominis here. That little hover and hold, more making you work into the transverse. Good enough. Hug the knees into the chest. Really strong hold, so don't let the knees hang out. Just like when we were trying to get belly, chest close to the thighs, give that strong squeeze, a nice release in the hip flexors in particular, so that you're not using them throughout this core focused work. Okay, take another stretch, arms overhead. That lift of low belly away from the mat. And right into Shavasana, allow the arms to release, legs to release. Close your eyes. Give a few gentle sighs. Repeating again the words of Morgan Harper Nichols. I hope we can all remember this before the end of the month by heart. I hope you do not feel like you shouldn't be able to talk about how difficult it is to wait and trust in the process. Please do not let anyone make you feel like you are automatically ungrateful just because you are struggling to see where the light pours in. Yes, a daily practice of gratitude is incredibly valuable to your well-being, but it does not mean that you have to pretend you are immune to the strong emotions that come with waiting. Learning to trust in the process is about learning to trust that there is so much happening beneath the surface, beneath the layers of worries, doubts, and long list of things you have not figured out. There is endless, boundless grace that gives you room to feel what you need to feel, while also moving forward one step at a time. Let this be what you're grateful for, the opportunity to keep going, to keep trying, to keep waking up each morning knowing that even if you didn't have the best start, or even if the failures of yesterday still seem to haunt you, you are free to try again. You are free to trust and embrace the process of learning every lesson you need to learn that you know is only going to prepare you for whatever lies ahead. All right, slowly come back to a seated position for those still lying back. And finding your seat, bring palms together, thumbs to the sternum. Allow the movement, the actions, the words that came to you on the mat transfer into the actions, the words, the movement off of the mat today. Let's close in the sound of Om. As ever, sing along, listen, or tune it out. Empty out the breath. Take a deep breath in. Deepest of gratitude to you, each other, this practice. Namaste.